In the vast expanse of the universe, where stars twinkled like diamonds against a backdrop of infinite darkness, a notorious alien assassin named Xynor had just received an unusual contract. Xynor, a member of the Korthan species, was known for his unparalleled skills and ruthless efficiency. He had traversed galaxies, eliminating targets from various species, each more challenging than the last. However, this time the target was different, a human. The Korthans had long observed humanity from a distance. They were an unpredictable species, driven by emotions and flawed reasoning, traits that had never impressed Xynor. When he was briefed on his target, a human scientist named Dr. Emily Carter, he felt a wave of disdain. She was said to be brilliant, but to Xynor, she was simply another target, one that was about to learn the hard way just how ill-equipped she was for an encounter with a professional assassin. On a distant planet, a small human colony thrived. Dr. Carter worked in a research facility dedicated to understanding the universe's mysteries. She had no idea that her life was about to be upended. As Xynor arrived on the planet, he felt the weight of his reputation. He had taken down warlords, beasts, and even rogue AIs, but never had he faced a human target. He dismissed the nagging doubts creeping into his mind. This was just another job, after all. Meanwhile, in the colony, whispers spread of the imminent danger. The colony's leaders had been alerted to Xynor's approach and gathered the townsfolk. They knew of the assassin's reputation and were terrified. "We have to protect Dr. Carter," a voice cried out. The others nodded, their expressions a mix of fear and determination. Dr. Carter, oblivious to the chaos brewing outside her lab, immersed herself in her work. The breakthroughs she was making could change the fate of humanity. Just as she was about to enter her latest findings into the mainframe, an emergency alert blared. The screens flickered, displaying a warning: alien presence detected. High threat level. Evacuate immediately. Her heart raced as she realized the gravity of the situation. She quickly gathered her notes and rushed toward the exit. As she stepped outside, she was met by the colony's security team, faces pale with fear. "Doctor, we need to get you to safety. An alien assassin is here," one of them shouted, urgency lacing his voice. At that moment, Xynor stepped into the clearing, his sleek figure framed against the shimmering trees. The villagers recoiled, recognizing the assassin. Xynor surveyed the scene with detached curiosity. He had never encountered such a chaotic group. The emotions of the humans were palpable, their fear almost intoxicating. But they were beneath him. His focus was solely on Dr. Carter. Before he could advance, the colony's defenders sprang into action. Armed with makeshift weapons and sheer determination, they positioned themselves between Xynor and Dr. Carter. "You will not take her!" another shouted, brandishing a rifle. Xynor raised an eyebrow, intrigued by their bravado. "Foolish," he muttered, his voice low and resonant. The defenders hesitated, caught off guard by his calmness in the face of their fear. Xynor took a step forward, the tension in the air thickening. He had faced countless enemies, but these humans were different. Their unpredictability was a wild card he hadn't accounted for. Dr. Carter, her scientific mind racing, suddenly remembered the emergency protocol she had designed for such scenarios. "Wait," she called out, surprising everyone. "What if we can reason with him?" "We can't just fight!" The defenders looked at her, confusion etched on their faces. Xynor paused, intrigued by the human's audacity. Reasoning with an assassin was unheard of, especially one of his caliber. But then he realized that humans often acted irrationally, and perhaps this was just another display of their folly. "Do you really think you can negotiate with me?" Xynor asked, amusement flickering in his alien eyes. Dr. Carter stepped forward, her heart pounding but her voice steady. "If you want to eliminate me, I can't stop you. But I can offer you knowledge, something you might not have considered. I can show you the potential of humanity, our innovations, and what we can achieve." The defenders murmured among themselves, uncertainty clouding their resolve. Xynor tilted his head, genuinely curious. Knowledge had never been a part of his contracts before. Was there merit in this human's proposal? "Why would I want knowledge?" he retorted, but the spark of curiosity was undeniable. "What could it possibly do for me?" "It could change your perspective," Dr. Carter replied earnestly. "Humans may seem weak, but our resilience and creativity are our strengths. You have never had a human target before. Why not explore what we can offer instead of destroying it?" Xynor considered her words. He had been trained to see targets as mere obstacles to be eliminated, devoid of value. But this encounter was shifting his paradigm. He looked at the frightened villagers, then back at Dr. Carter. "Your species intrigues me," he finally said, his voice betraying a hint of intrigue. "Perhaps I will run, but not for the reasons you think. I will observe instead. Show me what humanity has to offer." With that, Zener turned and vanished into the shadows, leaving the colony in stunned silence. The defenders were bewildered, and Dr. Carter felt a strange mixture of relief and excitement. They had survived, but more importantly, a new possibility had emerged. Zener watched from a distance as the humans celebrated their narrow escape. He felt a flicker of something unfamiliar, a respect for this flawed species that had the audacity to challenge him. He would not forget this encounter. As he moved through the dense forest, he thought of what it meant to be a hunter. Perhaps this time the chase would be different. Maybe he would find himself hunting not for death, but for understanding. After all, the universe was vast and there was much more to explore beyond mere assassination. And so a legendary assassin and an unassuming scientist began an unexpected journey, one that would bridge the chasm between their worlds. As the stars twinkled overhead, the possibilities stretched out before them, limitless and bright.